G'day YouTube, Down to Bricks here. What you building? Well, I've got my modified corner deli for you guys today. Now, I showed the review of the Creator Corner Deli yesterday. That is set 31050. So I did purchase two of those sets so I could modify it a little just to go along with my other rows of shops in the city. And as I said in the review yesterday that I was a big fan of the set, so I didn't really feel a need to change it too much. And as you can see here, I really just kept the same shape and design of the original Lego model. So I guess the major changes, I just made it into an entire building, so I'll show you around the outside in a moment. I did make it modular as well, and I have just added a little bit more detail to the bottom floor, and I did tile it and that sort of thing. But on the outside, the main changes I made were really just to the windows and the overall dimension. So basically I made it 3 studs wider than the original build, and that was just to accommodate the small changes that I wanted to make. Now, before we zoom in and take a closer look, I'll put a little picture up on the screen now so I can just point out some of those differences. So as we can see in the photo, the window on the side of the building, I was a big fan of that design, and I really wanted to incorporate that into the front of the building and have the 2 windows on the front. So we can see that the front window on the right hand side here is actually 2 window panels now. So as I mentioned, I added 3 studs to the width, and in this section here, that window makes that section 2 studs wider, and then I made this section here 1 stud wider. So basically all I did is I moved the window from the side around to the front here, and then just added the same sort of detail around this window here. So the only real difference to that window is on the top of it, it had 2 cheese slopes up on here, and because I've run the rail plate piece right along the front, I couldn't actually put those cheese slopes in, so I just used a couple of rounds and the round tiles, and I think that looks pretty good. But let's zoom in for a little bit of a closer look. So one of the things I liked about making the front section a little bit longer was actually making a longer awning. So I really like the look of that. And to take up those 2 studs on the bottom floor, I just added in an extra window. I was a big fan of that brick built sandwich, so that was a must to keep that as well. And the detail along the roof section, I did have to change that slightly just to accommodate for that extra 3 studs. So basically I just made the slope pieces here 2 wide and just added some extra cone pieces to fill it in. And here's one side of the building. I didn't worry about too much detail here because basically it's going to saddle right up next to another building, so you're not going to really see it anyway. I was even thinking of not even putting the windows in, but it did help save on a bit of brick as well, so I did put them in on the bottom floor. And on this side you can see it's just all brick. And from the back, again, not a great amount of detail. I mean, it is the back of the building. I did add the rail plate pieces top and bottom of the windows just to add a little bit more detail. I did put that above the door as well. And on the whole, I don't think it looks too bad. The only thing that sort of stands out to me is these grey plates here, and that's actually holding the ladder pieces to have access to the other floors. And I did want to leave that in because I did create access right through to the rooftop as the original model. I did change it a little bit, so we might go in now and have a look at that. So starting with the rooftop, you can see I kept the antenna and the access to the roof. The main change here, of course, is using a door piece instead of the window hatch. And I also tiled the balcony. Now I did mention that I made it modular. I only made it modular from the first floor to the top floor, so you can't take the roof off. So basically I don't have much detail on the top floor there. I've just put one of the lamps in and one of the chairs, just basically stuff you can see through the windows. But I didn't want to add a lot of detail. But let me take the top floor off now and let's have a look at the deli. So just by removing that, the whole balcony and the awning and everything comes with it. And We had a little plate there that came with it as well, but that's okay. And here is the Deli, but let's zoom in, get a little bit closer. Now again, there's not a huge difference to the interior from the original. I kept the same cooker down in the back corner there. I still have the exhaust fan that actually comes out to the front of the building. I did add in an extra countertop as well, plus a little inside table if you want to have a bit of a snack indoors. But I guess the main difference is just the tiled floor. Now I did have a lot of these jumper tiles from the Pirate chess set, so I just went ahead and used those. And I do like the contrast of the black and white floor for the Deli. And I even followed that through into the little corner eatery section. Now if you're wondering why I've actually tiled it up on a full base plate, that is the base plate I'm going to use for our city. Now these shops are going to run along the railway line, and this front section here of this plate will actually be where the tracks are. So let me slide on in another building just to show you what I mean. So here's my modified cafe. Now this won't be the building that actually is right next to the Deli. It was just the easiest one for me to get out. But you can see the fence line here that actually separates these shops from the rail line. Now with my new layout, what I'm going to be able to do is actually have a little bit more distance there. So I'm going to have another 6 studs to play with. So basically this fence line will come forward a little bit and just run right along the whole row of shops. So basically I just wanted to have the Deli on the base plate all ready to go into the city when I get a chance to do it. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this look at my modified corner Deli. I had a lot of fun with this one, a huge fan of it. I think a lot of people are going to be doing something similar. I mean, it would even be great just to get quite a few of these sets and just actually make it modular size. I think it would look great like that as well. I mean, this is just what I wanted to do to suit my city. But what do you guys think? What have you got planned for it? Do you like this set at all? Please let me know in the comments. That would be great. Be sure to let me know what you think of what I've come up with here as well. I'd love to hear it. I just want to say you guys are awesome. I really appreciate you watching. Please give me a thumbs up. That'd be sweet. Make sure you subscribe to keep up with all my Lego videos. I've got more to come. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.